Welcome, everybody, to this week of the Driveway Podcast. How are you guys doing? I have Natalie to my left, Matt to my far left, and Dave to my digital left, and my geographic left, actually.
Hi, Dave.
There you go. Yeah. Morning, folks, or good evening, or good afternoon.
You know what?
It's
peek behind the curtain. We are a bi-coastal podcast. It's morning for one of us, afternoon for the rest of us.
Spanning America for our readers and listeners.
We all drink coffee in solidarity with Dave.
How many are you on today? What is that? Second?
This is number 3.
Number 3. Ooh. Matt is punchy.
It's the third one in the third location. I had a cup of coffee at home. I went out for a cup of coffee after my dentist appointment.
Wow, big moves.
And then I got one at the office.
Were they all espresso drinks or just that one?
No. In fact, I would argue not enough of them were.
Well, there's always more. It's a Monday, so we're caffeinated. Matt, you and I had a big week last week.
I had a lovely time with you.
Oh my gosh.
It was
Natalie,
great.
Matt and I were on a Subaru trip, and Dave as well. Dave and Natalie, Matt and I were on a Subaru trip. We had an incredible time. Matt, maybe you can go into the trip.
Where'd you
itself.
go? What'd you do?
We
You guys
went,
share a tent?
We did not share a tent.
Well, although we were neighbors.
We were neighbors.
We were in cute little cabins.
They looked so cute.
Yeah, it was like straight out of Instagram, and we were in neighboring
part
cabins.
of the country?
We were up in the Pacific Northwest, which I love.
What a lovely part of the country.
Every time you go back we were in Oregon, so we flew in and out of Portland, and then did one night up near Mount Adams in these cute little cabins.
Which was actually in Washington.
That's right.
So we crossed the border. It was a bi-state trip.
It's a good question. How far was it? So it takes 2 hours to go from Portland to, I don't know what the name of the city,
just call it
the
Mount
town
Adams.
is. Yeah, to Mount Adams. But of course, it was a Subaru trip, and so it was
where were you
almost
driving?
entirely off-road. We were in the 2026
cool.
Subaru Forester Wilderness, and it took us 6 hours to get there.
So you drove yourselves from the airport?
So we spent the first night in Portland, and then we woke up early on the second day and drove out to Mount Adams. But then we actually did get back in the wilderness and drive ourselves back to the airport. So one of the criticisms that I often have on these programs is like they put you on these beautiful back roads and whatnot, if it's Subaru, these dirt roads. But you never actually drive the car on like an extended highway stretch, which is where most of us put the majority of our miles on our cars. And this actually gave us a little bit of both. We drove it out of Portland, so we saw some city driving. We got a lot of dirt roads.
Yeah.
Like my back is a little achy.
How rough were these roads? Are they? Do you have photos? Can we look this up online?
I think there's video, isn't there?
Yeah. So just to head off
the state of road.
To head off the viewers, the full review by the time you're hearing this is live on YouTube. There's a video review on YouTube and a written review. That one you wrote, right?
Our friend Christian Wardlaw wrote the
You're
written review of the
That's right.
Forester Wilderness, but we have another Subaru that I did review on the same trip.
Yeah.
But yes, the video is with me. Elliot, you filmed it.
Yeah. Great video. So it was the same when we did with the initial Forester first drive, the 2020, was that 24?
25.
It was in 24, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the 2025, the first drive, Subaru does this. They pick incredible roads to show. But I remember feeling like, this road, there's a lot of off-road.
Like I would not, if I bought one of these, I would not drive this road.
Yeah.
So
let's back up. What were you driving, and describe why it is different than a normal Subaru Forester?
Well, the Subaru Forester Wilderness tacks on a little extra ground clearance. It's got 9.3 inches of ground clearance now instead of 8.7.
Yeah.
Last year, the Forester Wilderness gave you 9.2, so it's a little bit taller now. But
the new generation,
the big stuff, so it's a new generation. It's a little confusing because in 2025, up until the end of this year, you were able to buy a Subaru Forester Wilderness that was the previous generation Wilderness. Now we have a Wilderness it's the trim package that's been added to this latest generation car. So if you're shopping, the 2026 Wilderness is like the most impressive one, but the 2025 Forester non-Wilderness is the generation equivalent. I know.
Subaru got
the easiest stuff in the world.
You've already wait, what else? Is it just higher suspension, or what else?
No, so it's got recovery points on front and back. It's got a skid plate. The biggest thing I think is the gearing. So they've changed up the gearing a little bit. You get a little more torque earlier in the it's a CVT. You get a little quicker off the line. But the downside is that it also means that on the highway, you're running at a bit higher of an RPM, so it's not as fuel efficient. Also adding to that, of course, it has all-terrain tires. It's got the roof rails.
And Subaru engines can get a little buzzy when they're at higher RPM, so that's not a great scenario to make it even worse. And CVTs, if you guys know me, I don't like CVTs as a transmission type.
Tell us
they
more.
feel kind of cheap, so that's interesting. So on the freeway, you're at freeway speeds. Was it like droning? Could you have done a longer road trip comfortably in that car? Would you recommend that?
It wasn't as bad as we did the Crosstrek Wilderness, which ironically it has the same engine. I assume it has very similar gearing. I felt like the Crosstrek was a lot more irritating at highway speeds. Some of that could be due just to build quality. Maybe you get a little more noise, vibration, damping in the bigger Forester. I like the drive itself wasn't really tiring. And we were also driving through the gorgeous Columbia River Gorge area.
I've been there. Yeah.
Just
that's beautiful.
Stunningly beautiful. You're going to notice the fuel economy, though.
Yeah.
Like this, we got like 23 mpg on our drive back, which was
on the freeway.
Descending elevation, going like 65 miles an hour the whole time. It was
for a compact crossover.
Yeah, not great.
It should be 10 mpg higher.
Particularly when you're comparing it, like Subaru sells a Forester with a hybrid now. So it's like if you want typical Subaru capability, if you don't need to go that extra mile off the pavement, you're probably going to be better suited with the non-wilderness, and especially with the hybrid.
It's also, you guys have driven the Honda CR-V Trail Sport, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we remember what that gets? Because I feel like that's a really close competitor to the Forester Wilderness, right?
That's
they're
different.
Based on, sorry?
The CR-V Trail Sport is only available as a hybrid.
Correct.
With
That's what I'm
Honda's kind of...
Yeah.
Right. So to me, I'm like, okay, well, if you were to compare these two vehicles, the Subaru Forester Wilderness and the CR-V Trail Sport, which is a hybrid, I feel like the Trail Sport...
Subaru's not going to do well.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You're going to get more... You're going to get your cake and eat it too, right? You're going to get like that off-roadishness that maybe you want.
Well, so Matt, why don't you go into...
Is the highway fuel economy better on the CR-V?
Yes, significantly better.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, that's what I'm saying. There you go.
A factor of 75% better.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Right.
if you're buying the Wilderness because of the capability, you can't even consider the CR-V hybrid.
Yeah, if you need what the Wilderness can do, the CR-V is not
That's
going
a
to
good...
The Honda, Nissan, Hyundai, Kia, they all have off-roady compact SUVs. None of them can hold a candle to the Subaru.
Okay.
The only real competitor out there is the Ford Bronco Sport Badlands, particularly with the Sasquatch package. But if you buy that, and if you get it with the Sasquatch package, you're looking at a car that's like 45 or 46 grand.
God, those things are expensive. That's insane.
The Wilderness isn't cheap. The Wilderness is a $40,000 vehicle. But
it can back it up.
It can back it up,
With
and
true off-road-
you're going to
yeah,
save,
right.
about $5,000 versus its only competition.
So there's no RAV4
It's nice to have an off-road
version
package.
that does off-road
So
stuff?
There's a RAV4. I'm always
It's
excited.
Woodland.
It's the Woodland now.
Yeah.
They've changed the name.
But
of
isn't it largely all-terrain tires?
Here.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Okay,
it up.
it doesn't
I don't
have,
think...
like, the-
Yeah, I think the Subaru is the one with like the most like real package that like actually demonstrably changes the the abilities of that vehicle. Everything else is just like you want to look cool in the Vaughn's parking lot or soccer pickup for your kids, right?
Well, so Matt, go kind of explain the difference, because this year, a couple months ago, we saw the CR-V Trail Sport, as Dave brought up, and that off-road experience that Honda showed us that demonstrated the capabilities.
We're gonna lose some friends today.
Well, compare that. It's a different vehicle. Compare that to what we experienced last week.
Okay, so
with the Wilderness.
The big lesson from the Honda drive that we did was, all the automakers set up these off-road courses. Sometimes they're on public roads. Sometimes they are literally like at an off-road park, and they've designed a course that's supposed to demonstrate the capabilities of the vehicle. The Honda course that we did, all of the off-roading elements, so it was like the big pile of dirt that it's going to drive over, all of those the vehicle was heading downhill. At no point was the vehicle going uphill on any of them. And I said, can we drive the course in reverse? And they looked at me and they said, no, I'm sorry, we can't drive the course in reverse. The Subaru program, it wasn't at an off-road park. It was just public roads and trails. So in that sense, it's like it's already less curated. And one of the trails that they sent us up on, where we actually ended up filming the intro to our video, was like if I was in a Wrangler and I looked at this, I'd be like, I'm not sure I need to mess with that today. Yeah. Wow, and the Subaru was
You've
just
obviously never driven a Wrangler off road. They can do anything. They can go up walls.
Well, maybe I can't.
It's terrifying.
It can be very nerve-wracking. Yeah. This was very impressive.
Yeah, and it was. So we normally, behind the curtain, I sit in the passenger seat and film on a tripod to get
unusable footage.
Yeah, to get the cleanest possible footage, and
bouncing all over.
Yeah, the footage was unusable, so I was like, we can't do this. So we ended up attaching a GoPro to the windshield so it would be stable with the car, and we were able to get some of that footage with the car just literally up and down. But yeah, and none of that is to put down the CR-V Trail Sport, because as we've talked about in an upcoming episode, CR-V is one of our favorite compact crossovers in the entire class. Yeah. This is purely comparing the capabilities of the stated off-road package. Yeah, and
so Matt, someone walks up to you. Everyone knows Matt is now getting recognized on the TV. He's kind of famous.
By my
Someone
colleagues.
comes up to you and says, "Oh my gosh, are you Matt Smith from the Driveway podcast? I am in the market for a Subaru Forester Wilderness. Should I buy it?" What do you tell him? Or what do you ask?
I think there's some caveats coming.
I'm going to need to know a little bit about your hobbies.
Yeah. Okay.
I honestly,
general impressions.
My mentality has always been that if you're buying a Subaru, like you've already self-selected the segment of the market that you need. You're not buying a 4Runner or a Bronco or a Wrangler. You're buying a Subaru, but you're also buying a Subaru. So you need something that's a little more capable. I think for a lot of Subaru buyers, the Wilderness is probably not going to get used to its fullest extent.
Mm-hmm. But I think can say that about half of the trucks and SUVs on the road.
Yes.
Probably not even half, 90% today.
I think it's more likely that you find a Subaru buyer who's going to use more of the Wilderness's capability than you would find a 4Runner buyer who's going to use more of the 4Runner's capability. Like the Subaru does, it's already kind of in a sweet spot of prowess, and the Wilderness definitely bumps that up, but it's still not at the level of like you're never going to use all that capability that you find, frankly, in a lot of body-on-frame SUVs.
And not that there's anything wrong with this, but there's surely a lot of people who buy the Wilderness because it looks a little bit cooler.
It definitely,
and that's
why 90% of the people buy it. That's why this entire subsection of off-road-ish vehicles exist. Is everyone likes to cosplay as some off-roader.
Cosplay as an off-roader,
which is fine. It's your $40,000. If you want it to look like that, make it look like that.
Right, and murder your fuel economy in the process.
Yeah, I do wonder how much of the usable capability would you be unlocking just buying like a Forester Limited and putting bigger tires or all-terrain tires on it? Like, do you really need the changed gearing and the skid plates?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing on that road that we were speaking about, that skid plate definitely came in handy.
Oh yeah,
there were some rocks. Yeah, we could hear some rocks along that skid plate.
Is definitely skidded.
It has been scud.
It's been scud. The past tense. That's I'll allow it. So surely we can go back to the Forester if we want, but that's not the only car that we saw. We were actually also there, and I say we, Matt was invited, I was invited to film that.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
We also saw the Crosstrek Hybrid, which is new for this year. There's been a Crosstrek Hybrid before. I forget the years, but I don't think it did that well because it wasn't made.
And there a plug-in hybrid too?
There's been 2 iterations of the Crosstrek Hybrid. I should probably pull up my notes before I tell you what years they were in. But the important part is that the first one was a limited availability.
Was that a California only hydrogen
it wasn't,
cell
I don't think it was,
kind of
no,
thing?
It wasn't. But
it had terrible range.
Yeah, it was anemic. It had a really small gas tank.
Okay.
The second coming of the Forester Hybrid was actually a plug-in hybrid.
Crosstrek Hybrid.
Sorry,
that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's the one that had I want to say it was 14 miles of all electric
range. It was a joke.
range.
Hey, nice.
Again,
it was expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah. This one, it's not perfect, but it seems to make fewer compromises than those previous ones. It has the regular Crosstrek 16.5 gallon fuel tank, so it'll go 600 miles on a tank of gas.
Yeah, they came back to that point often.
Yes. Well, as I noted, you could drive from your home in Burlington, Vermont, down to the New Year's Eve concerts at Madison Square Garden, and back without having to fill up with gas.
That's for any use case.
Well, that's for the fish fans out there.
I think all of them own Crosstreks. But the other stuff, so the PHEV had that big battery or reasonably big battery in it, and they had to lift the trunk floor to make space for the battery, so it had less cargo space.
Which
doesn't
is
suffer
common
from that. This also, the big caveat is it still has like the mechanical drive shaft powered all-wheel drive system that kind of makes Subaru special.
It's Subaru's all-wheel drive?
It's Subaru's full symmetrical all-wheel drive. There's no E.
Question.
Yeah.
Are they using Toyota's hybrid system, and then does that mean it's not full-time all-wheel drive?
They made that comparison to the Toyota Corolla Cross because in the class of subcompact crossovers, am I correct? There's only those two that are hybrids now, or is there a couple others?
CX-50 is not subcompact, is it?
They do compare it. There's very few in this segment.
That was the big.
That's also using
point.
Toyota's hybrid system.
Yeah, they compared it with the CR-V, the RAV4, the CX-50. Those have hybrids. But they're also bigger and more expensive. Yeah. The Corolla Cross is roughly the same size, offers all-wheel drive, is a hybrid. The Kia Niro's another one where it's like the same size, but it doesn't offer front-wheel or all-wheel drive. It's front-wheel drive only. And I honestly thought there was a Hyundai Kona hybrid. I mentioned this to you.
There's a full EV.
I was like, how are they just ignoring the Hyundai Kona hybrid? And then I got back to my computer and started writing the review, and I said, oh, there is no Hyundai Kona hybrid.
I thought Hyundai made like a hybrid of everything.
Right? Like, get on it, Hyundai. This is a market opportunity.
But they definitely compared the Corolla Cross against the Crosstrek Hybrid. And the big difference is Toyota has the E all-wheel drive, but much better gas mileage. Subaru holds the real symmetrical mechanical all-wheel drive, but it gets worse. What is it, 36?
It's 36 MPG
across the
city,
board?
36 highway, 36 combined, which is very convenient when you're trying to memorize the facts for a video.
Yeah, he rattled those right off.
But it's
and that compares to
I think it's like 40-ish for the Corolla Cross hybrid.
That's not a huge sacrifice for that.
Well, compared to the gas version of the Crosstrek, the gas, I'm looking it up right now, 27 city, 33 highway, 29 combined. So you're getting 7 miles per gallon combined better.
Yes, which is...
For what price? What's the price delta? Do you remember? I'm putting you on the spot.
It's a lot.
Is it
a lot? Okay.
The trim that we tested, which obviously is the limited... so they only sell it in 2 trims. This is important. There is no base. There is no premium. There's just sport and there's limited. The limited that we tested was over $38,000, which
that's a lot of money for a little car.
It's a lot of money for a little car.
It doesn't get huge gas mileage.
Well, it's just like I don't know particularly if you do a lot of highway driving.
Yeah.
I just don't think you're going to recoup the difference on fuel savings.
Are there other upgrades to it beyond just the hybrid? Like other standard features you get for your extra coin?
The big one is you get a different driver information display.
Which is a nice one.
Yeah, and maybe that's important to you. Maybe it's not. It's a 12.3 inch fully digital. It's the same one that you get in the Forester Hybrid, and they also offer it on the Forester Wilderness. It's kind of a weird upgrade for the Forester Wilderness because it's not available on like the Forester Touring. I imagine it will be next year. It's pretty clear that like they have to offer it on the hybrids because their standard gauges don't offer the same like hybrid readout that you need for measuring like battery efficiency and whatnot.
Yeah. So did you like it?
I like the Crosstrek in general. So it's kind of it like had set a high bar that it knew it was going to clear.
Yeah.
In terms of the hybrid add-on, it's a little more powerful. It's definitely smoother. One of my frustrations with the Crosstrek is like 0 to 30. You're like, oh, this is a slow car. It doesn't suffer from that. I probably wouldn't spend my money on the upgrade to the hybrid powertrain, but I can definitely see why it would be appealing.
Sure.
Okay. Nice.
Great. Yeah. Any we kind of hit the Forester and the Crosstrek.
Yeah, a lot going on with Subaru because then what is it later this year?
Oh yeah,
Subaru's having a big year.
Somebody we don't know who yet. I don't think it's me, but someone is going to be driving the Outback.
Yes, we'll get
very exciting.
a review of the Subaru Outback, the non-Wilderness. We'll also have a review probably early in 2026 of the Outback Wilderness. And then Subaru, of course, has 3 new EVs. We've got the Solterra, the new Solterra, the new Trailseeker, and the new Uncharted.
Yeah. Our favorite names that any automaker has ever used.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot going on with Subaru. It's exciting.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having a Subaru. Like I said, check out the review, written and video, YouTube and cargurus.com/research, to hear all about Matt's thoughts. So that was...
And Chris Wardlaw's thoughts.
And Chris Wardlaw's on the written. Thank you. Okay, so that was our time with Subaru. And related to Subaru...
Why am I wearing a flannel shirt, Elliot? Tell us.
We are...
And you can't see it, but flannel long johns, flannel socks.
You're all decked
flannel
out.
shoes.
I love it.
No, not really. I'd be sweaty. It's still 80 degrees here in California. It'd be a mess. But why are we wearing flannel?
We are segueing the Subaru reviews and trip into talking about the best cars for camping.
Oh, wow. What a incredibly tangential topic.
What a tangential, good comparison.
Who planned this?
So we are going to talk through some of our favorite picks that we could take camping. I don't know. Natalie,
and we have a list
big camper?
online.
No, I am not a big camper.
Matt is a big camper. I have camped.
That's a huge camper.
Dave, are you? I know you're an off-roader. Are you also in the camping?
I'm an off-roader. Pre-kids. Our kids are 4 and 6 now. I don't think we've gone camping with them.
Yeah.
If you have ever met them, you'll understand why. Prior to having kids, yes, we live in Los Angeles. My wife and I, when we were dating and after we were married, would do an annual trip at least to Zion. Zion is probably my favorite national park in this country. You can get to it's 6 hours from Los Angeles. So it's like a 4-hour drive to Vegas and then 2 more hours past that. I love it there. Pre-pandemic, it was a lot easier to get campsites there and it was not nearly as crowded. Delightful. So yes, we used to do quite a bit of camping previously.
I don't understand the scale of the American West at all. It's only 2 hours from Vegas.
Yeah. Two and change. Yeah.
What shape is Nevada? My God.
It's a parallelogram.
Wow.
Here's what you do. Here's your insider tip. You drive from Los Angeles. In Vegas, there is a In-N-Out, not inside like downtown Vegas, but like
You're
just
speaking
outside,
my language.
right along the freeway. And look, we are in Los Angeles. There are In-N-Outs everywhere. There's actually the original one was very close to our old house. We could have walked to it.
How did you move?
This In-N-Out that we go to outside Vegas on the way to Zion, the best In-N-Out I've ever had. So
wow.
So you stock up on that, and then you get out into the wilderness, and
there you go.
The wilderness.
We're just
the wilderness.
Changing,
I didn't even mean that.
We're becoming a food and travel podcast.
Ooh, I love that.
I'm looking at the map now. That's amazing. St. George, Utah, really is just like right up. It's like right next door to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So sort of the gateway to the best part of the parks.
Those are our camping credentials. Matt, you are the main camper of this group.
Well, for now,
and maybe
I also
maybe
have
the
a
main,
small
and
child.
he's also the main camper.
No?
You do camping that is. So I do what's called car camping. Okay, that's when you drive your car to a campsite. You pay for a space. Sometimes there's an outlet. You don't have to have an outlet, but there's a house with bathrooms and showers, or a building with bathrooms and showers. Matt, you do a different form of camping.
Yeah,
that you would call camping.
But is it relevant to this? Because we're not bringing any of these cars.
It's not relevant. We would refer to it as backpacking. And I do less and less now that I'm older and older.
Yeah. And a dad.
But yeah, if you're really into backpacking, I've got great news for you. You can literally drive whatever car you want because all you're doing is going to a trailhead and then leaving.
Okay, so...
But if you're a car camper, what I would call a camper, then suddenly...
We've got some suggestions.
What Matt just said is untrue. Because I've said we're going camping, and you say you're going car camping.
Well,
so you've adjusted your stance.
He's one of these elitists that likes to make you feel bad.
I'm not correcting you as much as I am establishing my dominance.
Okay, let me explain why I asked that difference. Because you with the Crosstrek video, you said this car is not going to get you to the top of Mount Adams, but it'll get you to the trailhead.
Wilderness or Forester video.
No, it was in the Crosstrek Hybrid.
It was?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We did that one too.
The reason I ask is because I assumed when you go backpacking, you're starting out further into the distance than you are when you just go to a campground like I've done.
No, you're starting at a paved trailhead.
Okay. My assumption was you go a little bit further off-road and then you hike from there. So that's why I asked.
Well,
just to clarify.
Hey, let's
let's
talk about some cars that we're taking camping.
I love when Dave puts his producer hat on and says, "Let's get back to it, guys."
This isn't Outside Online's podcast. This is The Driveway.
But if they're listening,
and this is based on an article,
not a competitor, happy to do some freelance work.
So, like Call you said, if your car, if you're backpacking, you can take any car you want.
Sure.
So let's I guess talk about the cars that we're going to take to a campground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked at this exercise and I said, what are the things that are important to me when it comes to a vehicle that I'm going to take to a campground? It really came down to space, power, and I do think that there are like some kind of like more nuanced features. So like, well, I mean, we'll get into them, but like the shape of the car, the inside of the car, I think can make a big difference.
Layout for your interior.
But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to dive in on my first one if we want.
Yeah, so we all brought a couple picks, and we'll go around the horn and kind of share our picks and why. Matt, take it away.
I am opening with the Honda Ridgeline.
Oh.
Just a show of hands. Who else had that on the list? Yeah, okay.
I did not.
I figured it.
Sorry. Look, I hit the desk so hard, I actually moved my camera. I have to adjust it. There we go.
There we go.
Have you actually taken a Honda Ridgeline camping?
I have not taken a Honda Ridgeline camping.
Have.
Well, you win on that
fantastic.
one.
But I think we are obviously in agreement. Tell us why it's a great choice, because that was the top of my list.
The first one is, I think the truck format works really well for this stuff.
Yes.
You can fit so much in the back. A lot of it, like sometimes when I finish camping, I don't want to put things back in my car because they're so filthy. So the truck is a big relief there. Also, underneath the floor of that truck bed, they do have a big, like it's bigger than I remember. I was looking up some stats on it. It's 82 quarts. So like if you were to buy a really big cooler, like one of those sweet Yeti coolers, it's going to be smaller than what you have in the underneath the truck bed.
So for clarification, the Ridgeline, unlike most trucks on the market, which are body on frame, the Ridgeline is it's unibody. It's based on the same platform that's the Honda Odyssey and the Pilot and the Passport and even the Acura MDX, right? So they are able to, you've got the bed of the truck in the Ridgeline, and then underneath is this, like Matt's saying, this massive storage compartment.
Yeah.
Kind of nice for a couple of reasons. One, if you don't have a tonneau cover covering the bed, this is a place to put things that is kind of out of sight, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Is there a drain plug too?
There is a drain plug, so you could fill it up with ice. Fill it with ice.
Yeah. It's cool. It's just adds to the utility. And like you said, the Ridgeline, well, you didn't say you're going to. The Ridgeline's very comfortable to drive because it's not a truck.
Drive.
So you can get to that trailhead on a long haul.
Yeah,
and you're not beat up.
You don't feel beat up before you start camping, which is always nice. Yeah. The Hyundai Santa Cruz also has an underfloor storage, but it's such a smaller truck. I feel like you don't have. Little. I like the Ridgeline because you can throw all of your crap in the back. The Santa Cruz, you're going to be putting stuff in the back seat. It's just not that big a vehicle. The Ram 1500, you can also get it with the Ram boxes, which. I look at them and I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of nice. You don't have to move things out of the bed to get in there. But then, Natalie, I thought of you. I was like, Natalie trying to get a beer out of the Ram box up on the fender of a 1500. It's just not as convenient, Yeah. That's like quite a reach
for our
there.
listeners, to be clear.
Get up on the wheel.
Drink beer.
But
we all drink beer.
That
wasn't just an.
That's right.
Our resident beer drinker, Natalie. We thought of you. She's got a few off camera right now.
So I think like you take all of those fun features, you tack on the fact that it's fuel comfortable, all-wheel drive. It has a V6. It's not the most fuel-efficient vehicle out there, but perfectly capable. I'd open with the Honda Ridgeline. That's my pick.
And
solid pick.
I'm going to take it.
Am I correct? Your dad just bought one?
Yes, he did. He really wanted a Chevy Silverado 1500, which is a truck I like quite a bit, but my dad is over 70. And I said, what are you doing? Like, just buy the Honda.
Just buy the Honda.
And he loves it. It's like his favorite vehicle he's ever owned. And all of his truck friends in New Hampshire make fun of him a little bit for it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest downsides. It gets no street cred or off-road cred. But screw them. You're comfortable. You've got space. They're going to ask to borrow it. when they want to take a road trip. You'll have the last laugh. Yeah.
Nice. So the Honda Ridgeline goes to Matt. Dave, I know I think you said that was your first pick. Do you have a second pick, or do you want to?
I'm going to go, to our listeners who are considering the used market, right? Maybe this is like a third car you're just going to use for camping. Whoa. You don't want to blow, $40,000 on it. You can get these for like $5,000. Also Honda, you know where I'm going. Element.
The Honda
Element.
Number 2 on my list.
Yeah. Welcome to my life where you're stealing all my choices.
We're just
one of the more underappreciated vehicles, new or used, on the market. So for those who don't remember, the Honda Element was this very squared off. It was like a box on wheels. It had 2.5 doors, 3 doors. Like it had like the rear doors were like these kind of, but they weren't full size.
Yeah.
Incredible interior configurability, right? So if it's just 2 of you on the trip, you can lay the seats flat. You can sleep in there if you need to. You can put your dogs, maybe your cats if you're weird and you take cats camping. I say that with judgment. Efficient. And then the configurations of the interior, it's all of the things. You can put bikes back there, whatever adventure you are out for. You're sitting up, higher than a sedan. So you've got a nice view of the road. Super efficient on the road, comfortable. And again, the used market. I mean, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look at CarGurus.com. I'm going to look for a Ridgeline.
Does anybody know off the top of your head when did the Element go out of production?
Oh, sorry. It was like 11, maybe.
Oh, okay. I thought it was actually a little later, but okay.
And there are always murmurs that they might bring one back.
Yeah, through 11.
Conceptually as an EV, because shape suits an EV perfectly. You just put the batteries in the floor. And I think, it's small, it's efficient. You could do it, not at crazy cost. That would be a home run. I would love it if that came back.
On the shape. So before I started on the Ridgeline, I was suggesting that the shape of the vehicle, the interior, was kind of one of those little nuanced things to look for. If you look at Honda Element Overland build and Google image search that, people build out the interior with plywood, shelving and whatnot, as if it was a pickup truck, because it has a very square opening. You can slide stuff in and out. Bring it back. Bring it back.
I mean, Honda has shown that they're bringing certain vehicles back as EVs.
Yeah, they brought the Prelude's coming back.
Yeah.
And that's not even an EV. That's a hybrid.
Yeah, true.
So I am on CarGurus.com right now. And this is maybe the only, not the only, this is a downside. Because they didn't make them forever and they stopped making them, there is a huge cult following of them. So you are up against people who appreciate them for what they are. So they're not super cheap actually in the used market.
They're not. I was wondering if you were going to
not a lot of
end up on this. Well, also for a while you could get the
You're excused.
For a while you could get the EX trim with 4-wheel drive and a manual.
Ooh.
And it's just
well, those are collector's items now.
Catnip. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's
Cats
one. Here's
love
one
them.
In Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So unless you're local, you got a little bit.
How far is that from LA?
1,300 miles away from where I am right now. It's the LX 4-wheel drive, 50,000 miles, 50. So that's relatively low mileage for these things. It's $15,000.
That's pricey.
That's sort of not for a used vehicle in general, yes. Not for an Element though. I mean, a lot of these are all. That's the problem. Is to Honda's credit, they're very reliable vehicles. So it's rare you're going to find one with few miles on it. Most of these here all have 100,000 miles plus, and they're all 12, 13, 14 grand. So you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, they were slow,
but they're cool.
But that's okay.
I mean, you're going
we're not talking about racing cars.
Yeah, just look at it. Obviously, it's slow. Honestly, a Honda Element with 300 horsepower would be terrifying.
Sure.
That's true. Yeah, no one needs that. That's one of these, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
So that's my pick.
Okay, moving down the line. We're just coming down this way. Natalie, are you prepped? Are you ready to share? I think you said that the Element was on your list.
Element was on my list, but that's okay. I've got other things on my list.
Yeah, that's why we brought multiples, right?
Yeah, it actually wasn't going to be the first thing I mentioned because, and I think Matt was talking about, what are things I want to take camping with me? And for me, one of those things is a hairdryer.
Yeah.
So any car, any EV, for example, with vehicle to load charging capability, I think would be a big one. Tesla has a specific camp mode, which is a pretty cool feature. It's standard on all Teslas.
What is it? What does it do?
So it powers down like non-essential systems and lets you keep your climate control and your audio and all those kinds of things running overnight without really digging your range.
I was wondering with these EVs,
But does it have vehicle to load?
Can you like sleep in air conditioning?
Yes.
Right?
And with the Tesla Camp mode, you can.
So of the available Teslas, is there one that you would specifically pick? Are you a Cybertruck gal?
Despite what we just said about the merits of the truck format for camping, no. Do I look like a Cybertruck gal?
No.
Yeah, you never know. You'd be surprised.
They walk amongst
dare
us.
No, I think probably Model Y. Just like
Model Y,
more interior space. Yeah.
Nice.
Also, if I were camping, I think I don't know how comfortable I'd be having stuff outside. I want to be inside the car overnight.
sure.
So.
Yeah,
There are
the
bears out there.
Yeah. Who
out
knows
there.
what's out
Yeah.
there? There could be anything.
Got to keep that stuff closed, locked up.
Yeah. So
you're going EV mostly.
I'm going EV.
Tesla for that.
Yeah. For my first pick.
Glamping.
I'm down.
If you will.
Yes,
I'm down
exactly.
as long as they're
Exactly. We already
you're
established
at
I'm
the
not a big
mercy.
camper.
You're at the mercy of charging stations. But I
That
think
is
that's a
true.
great point, though, is the vehicle to load. And I also think people, I can't speak for all people ever. I am always surprised by just how long or how many things for how long you can charge from an EV. Like they can power your entire, not a big EV, like a Hyundai, small one.
Yeah.
Can power your entire house for like days. And you're like, wow, okay. When it puts it in a context of like, here's the capability of that. So it could certainly power all of your hair dryers. And you and my wife should go camping. You guys are very in sync.
It is.
Like, I remember hair dryers.
The idea of a kilowatt hour is like it goes completely over the heads of the average person. It's like, okay, so it's like a bunch of laptop batteries. It's like, no, it's like
more.
10,000 laptop batteries.
Right. For a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
All right,
gonna
I like it.
I'm gonna piggyback on that pick, and so when I was doing my research, I don't know if I found incorrect stuff or outdated, but there's one car that is a V2L from Tesla. I didn't see others listed. Maybe they were only highlighting one, but my pick is the one that it highlighted, and it's controversial. It's the Cybertruck. Okay,
and let me walk amongst us.
I am personally.
I would actively put food around it so the bears tore the thing apart and made it better looking.
I'm taking my personal taste out of it and picking a car based on its capability, but also its aftermarket is the big thing.
Oh,
so
fair.
the Cybertruck has a huge battery, and I think the V2L is most of my list is actually I have a lot of EVs that have V2L because of that reason. We recently went camping and we didn't spring for the outlet spot, so I had to actually steal a little bit of a plug for a little bit so I could charge up my son's iPad before he went crazy.
He's camping. Why does he need an iPad?
Hey, it was our first time. But the Cybertruck, at least it has a reputation of, maybe it doesn't have the reputation, but it has
got a reputation.
It has a reputation for being able to go places. At least that's the marketing of it. And it has a huge battery that is not going to be dinged by if you're using a hair dryer or whatever else. But the camp tent additions to the Cybertruck seem to be fairly interesting. Tesla themselves sell a Cyber tent, and it's $2,700, and it looks nice. I could only find it on the website. I couldn't find it in use, so I don't know if it's actually being sold, but you can buy it, I believe. There are other things, though. It's called the Cyber Glad tent edition. It's $66,000.
What?
And then there was the Cyber Phoenix edition.
This is a family podcast. This is a family podcast. So I can't actually say my true reaction to that. And I don't even want to say it with the mute button. But I'm about to throw this microphone through my screen. Elliot.
What is it called?
I'm not just mad. I'm disappointed, Elliot. I'm disappointed. There
is a camping niche with the Cybertruck that is at very least interesting.
This Cyber Phoenix is one.
God.
Okay. Sorry.
It's insanely expensive.
What did I say? $80,000. Yeah.
The Cyber Phoenix is $80,000. It does look like pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at the Cyberglad. I wouldn't call this a tent.
On the outside, it is the only thing I could think of that would make the Cybertruck less good looking.
Sure. And again, I would not buy a Cybertruck But there does seem to be an interesting aftermarket for camping and tent applications with the Cybertruck.
Yeah, but you can say that about dozens of other vehicles.
Yeah, but I'm choosing to say about this one.
Yeah. Sheesh. I like how deep in the barrel we're already scraping. It's your first pick. And you're saying, I wouldn't buy this vehicle, but if I was going camping, I guess I would buy this vehicle.
Well, I thought for sure Elliot's first pick was going to be the next one on my list.
Well, here's the thing. I was trying to piggyback because Natalie just brought up Tesla, so I adjusted my list.
True,
I mean, come on.
Understood.
You skipped over... As an admitted Subaru fanboy, Elliot, you skipped over the entirety of Subarus.
Well, okay.
And went to a...
So we're going to do a snake draft. I'm going to go again.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, I love this. I love it.
I have a list of like 9 cars, okay? And the Cybertruck was number 8. I just want that to be clear. I was piggybacking on Natalie bringing up Tesla.
You made a list of 9?
I have 9 or 8 or 9.
This is good.
Overachiever.
Yeah,
but
well, when we all take each other's picks, Elliot's going to finish off the list. By the way, I did look it up. V2L is... available with Teslas, assuming you have an adapter.
Okay.
And I don't think they're super cheap, but we can keep the Model Y on the list. Certainly, I'm happier to keep that one on the list than the other Teslas that have been noted.
Yeah,
but can you attach a tent to a Model Y?
Camping, I'm opening the door and letting a bear in.
So second pick
second
from
pick.
the one with no taste
is. It's the obvious one.
He lacks taste.
It's the obvious one that you all thought I was going to say. It's whatever Subaru size you need. Okay, so camping, I don't think you need that much space. I went camping with 2 adults, 2 kids, a baby with all the stuff that you bring with a baby, and a big dog.
And things are huge when you have a baby.
We did it in my Subaru Forester and had no problem whatsoever. So
did you have a Thule on top?
We had the Thule on top. That is the addition. Is whatever you need plus a Thule. It'll get you there. So it's like that's the answer.
To build on that, I've been living in California for 20 years.
Yeah.
When I finished grad school in Boston, did a 4-week road trip out west. And at the time this is in 2006, I had a 1998 Subaru Legacy GT. It's the sedan.
Swag.
Love that car.
That's a good one.
And so I took it camping across the entirety of the U.S. I had a Thule bin, and then I had 2 bikes because I did a lot of mountain biking on this trip, a lot of hiking. But I was also moving. So absent the driver's seat, the entire car is like full of stuff. But kind of any car is a decent camping car. This had all-wheel drive. Yeah. This also had I was a broke graduate student. Those tires were like epically. One of them ended up just giving out. Like I didn't hit anything. It just like wore out and I got a flat tire. That's how bad these tires were. And that car was still incredible in the snow and in inclement weather on the slickest, worst used tires ever. And this wasn't even like a rugged version of the Subaru. It's a Legacy GT, right? Yeah. And so it was, I took it all around Colorado, Utah, gnarly weather conditions. That thing was a peach.
Yeah. So the first thing on my list is a Subaru as big as you need it to be. Because
love it.
I'm in the brand, but like we said, as long as you have a Thule in the space, most cars are going to get you there. So that was my second pick, but actually my first pick. So Natalie, do you have another? Well, to snake it back,
doubling down on what you said.
Yeah,
just because it's going to get to it eventually.
Natalie over there.
We're going to go to Natalie.
Hey Natalie.
I put down the Forester Wilderness, the Forester, not just because we just drove one, but specifically because it's bigger than a Crosstrek, but it gets better fuel economy than an Outback. But yes, for the same reasons, I'm in agreement. Okay, Natalie.
Real Natalie.
Okay, so actually what I thought you were going to say and what I'm going to say.
I'm curious if it's on my list. What is it?
It's Toyota Sienna.
You know what? Not on my list.
How is that not on your list?
But it's a great choice.
I'm shocked.
What do you like about the Sienna?
List.
I thought that was on Elliot's list for everything.
Elliot, we make a list of like best driving sports cars, and a Sienna ends up on your list. Like, how did it miss it this time?
It's the right call, and I'm sure you're going to tell us why.
Tell us why. Yeah,
let's talk interior space again here. For someone who would not like to spend overnight outside, I don't think you have to if you have the Sienna. Maybe even if you have like 2 adults and 2 kids. I guess I have never had that experience, but those second row chairs, slide them all the way back, recline them. You've got the refrigerated compartment at the back of the center console. Mm-hmm. So yeah, lots of space, lots of storage space, and passenger is not the right word. Camper space.
Yeah.
Lots of camper space.
All-wheel drive available.
All-wheel drive available. Hybrid.
Delightful on the freeway.
Yep.
So you can get there. Yeah.
Yep.
That was great.
Good looking.
I mean, it looks fabulous.
Yep.
It's fabulous, especially if you get in the green in the woods.
Like a bullet train.
Oh, that'd be good looking.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's
so clearly I won, and
I would argue it's the second best looking car on sale today. Yeah. We can move on.
All right.
Look at that. We're running out of time.
The inexpert camper won the draft here.
I think it's
in the spirit of piggybacking. I'm going to piggyback. I'm going to spin it a little bit. The existing list that we have up on CarGurus.com, best cars for camping. I know we're going to rewrite it by the time this episode airs, but on this existing list is the Ford Transit. And I think like utility-based vans like this are a great pick, right? And the Ford Transit is because it really nicely splits the difference between like the cushiness of a minivan like the Sienna, but then the utility of something like a big old Ford Econoline, right? Like you can have your cake and eat it too. They are efficient. They're really nicely designed in terms of space inside. I know retirees, my parents who are boomers, have two friends who live in Arizona, and they have a Transit, and they've configured it so it's just the two of them and their dog. But the amount of stuff they can pile in that thing and just get up and go, fuel efficient, safe, good on the freeway. Yeah.
Talk about your aftermarket upgrades, right?
Yeah.
Like,
my gosh,
do you think $60,000 on a Cybertruck, you could spend like
that's van life.
a tenth of that and have your Transit completely
love
livable.
The Transit.
I would also like to point out that the Ford Transit is available with a twin turbocharged V6 that makes 400 pound-feet of torque.
That. Wow.
Oh, snap.
A lot of people don't think about the Transit with regards to performance, but it will haul the mail. It is. I had one when I moved. They load me one for a week when I was moving house, and it was quick. It was a quick move.
It's a quick move.
Well, there's a Ford Transit, which is like the big old guy, and then isn't there? There's a Transit Connect too, right?
Well, there used to be one, not on sale anymore. But yeah, I love those.
Might be good used. The Transit Connect is like the smaller. I'm gonna look those up.
There was I want to say it's like a first gen Transit Connect. I think it was called the Transit Connect back then, but it like doesn't look as good as the more modern Transit Connect. It like kind of had like this,
wow. I'm looking at it right now.
Like
looks like a mail truck.
Like louver. Yes, it looks like a mail truck. And I was walking with my wife in our neighborhood, and somebody had parked like a teal one on the street.
Beautiful.
And I was like,
I love a teal
"What
car.
do you think about that?" And there was like a Camry next to it, and my wife's just like, "Oh, like the Camry looks nice." And I was like, "No, I'm obviously talking about that Ford Transit." And she goes, "I don't think I've ever seen that car before."
You've never seen it again.
They fly under the radar.
It's great.
I'm looking on CarGurus. There's
cute.
one. Oh, here's a nice one. Paso Robles, California, so 150 miles away from where I am. 2021
Just
Ford
so Matt
Transit
can
Connect.
picture it on the map.
Yep, picture it on the map. 57,000 miles, $23,000, but it's like the fully loaded. Yeah, you could configure that.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So
However, it was not available with a twin turbocharged
It was
V6
not available with a
making
twin turbo,
400 pound-feet of torque.
That's what Matt needs in his giant.
I mean, if I'm
Metro
going to
van.
drive a Ford Transit, I at least want it to have the twin turbo
Make
V6.
it the sleeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, with we've all kind of given our picks. Let's with our remaining time, let's give our final picks. I think.
Can I go?
Yeah, it would be Matt's turn. So
would
Matt,
be my turn?
do you have your final pick?
Yeah, but I'm just going to piggyback
Natalie,
on
jump in.
on
Why
the
don't you
Ford one.
jump in?
Yeah, Natalie.
Did I hear it's Matt's
Steal
turn?
it.
Did you have
Steal it,
anything to add? I like the Ford F-150 Hybrid.
Hybrid. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good
I
choice.
just don't think you can underestimate the value of a tailgate when camping. It's like you need an extra surface. So I always like having a vehicle with a tailgate. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I like the Honda Element, Dave, is that the Element has a split tailgate. But the F-150 Hybrid, you can plug things in, like your blender for camping margaritas.
Your hairdryer.
It has a ton of space. It doesn't have terrible fuel economy because it's a hybrid, but it's still a full-size pickup truck. Like, it's not a fuel sipper. Yeah, and I just went camping with somebody who had an F-150 Lightning, which I could just have easily put up here, but
That
I think
one's on my list.
I think the downside of the Lightning is like you're restrained a little bit by charging network. The hybrid gives you the vehicle to load power without really any compromises in terms of where you're going.
And the Lightning, having taken a Lightning on a road trip, I know it's normal to expect any EV on the freeway is going to lose some range. That thing murders its range. If you go 61 miles an hour plus on the freeway, you can literally just watch the range plummet. So other EVs, I think Natalie had a really good point of like, I mean, taking a Tesla, it's more efficient on the freeway. You're going to actually get you to destination. I would caution against taking a long road trip in a Lightning because it's not pretty. I love those trucks, but just not for long range driving.
Nice.
Just map out those charging stations.
Yeah.
Don't get caught in a dead zone.
Don't get caught.
It's
Dave,
that easy.
Dave, what's your final pick?
I don't. I mean, everyone's taken all of them, all the good ones. I mean, I'd go back to a Subaru Outback, and this is the outgoing generation. We will see what the new one does. The new one is more wagony, or excuse me, less wagony.
Less wagony. Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing that, but anyway, because I think it's a nice mix of space, utility, comfort. I think the Outback is a little more refined than a Crosstrek. I haven't driven the new Forester. I'm very eager to drive the new generation Forester.
I wouldn't call it refined.
Subaru's
probably not what they're
a little below.
Yeah,
they're below average in terms of refinement, but I do think the Outback itself kind of does all of the things. It's got all the space and the efficiency and the capability. It would suit the needs of a wide variety of car campers. So that's my pick.
Nice. And you're the only one of us that saw the new one, but you're talking about the outgoing Outback
the outgoing
model.
one. I can't imagine the new one changes that really. It's just a different shape. It gets away from kind of the wagon-ishness that I think many buyers bought the Outback because it is a wagon. And it's not like Subaru doesn't have other crossovers. We can get to that. I'm surprised they're going away from the traditional recipe with the next Outback.
Yeah. Well, at least they're changing that screen in the new Outback. That's the I think the worst part about
physical buttons. Yeah. Kudos to them for admitting tacitly.
I'm interested to see how quickly that'll trickle down the lineup.
I would imagine from a production standpoint that ends up everywhere.
Yeah, I think so too.
In Subaru's lineup. Yeah.
Okay, Natalie, do you have a final pick?
Kind of. I had the Honda Element on my list, and I don't have a list of 9, so unfortunately. But
I have a list of 8 of them that everyone's going to hate. So
let's talk feature. Ability to put a rooftop tent on top and support adults up there with that. So the one I'm thinking of off the top of my head, Mazda CX-50.
Okay, nice.
Was like very much designed for
good choice
active lifestyles, as so many vehicles are now. So yeah, that's gonna be my go-to for this. That's, I think, an important feature. And thank you, Dave. What made you say, ooh, good choice?
I think, like you said, it kind of does all of the things. It's efficient. Mazdas are super comfortable right now. There's a refinement there that a lot of their competitors don't have, segment to segment. It is like they're outdoorsy of the lineup. It's a nice size. You can fit a lot of stuff in it, but it's not a CX-90.
Yep.
Yeah. It does all of the things.
90. I feel like I mention this all the time, but it's got that flat floor, so you could kind of like sit in the back and tailgate and not have the weird bump that makes your legs really uncomfortable.
It's underrated.
Slide stuff in and out. It's a good height for loading things in and out. So, that's my pick.
Beautiful. So I'm gonna highlight one more. Everyone's gonna hate it, but be nice.
Because it literally can't be worse than the Cybertruck. So
it's never good when before you say your pick, you have to say be nice.
I think it's a great pick.
There is no vehicle you could say that will be worse than the Cybertruck.
Well, hold on. Now I'm.
I want to guess it.
Accepted.
Ooh, should we guess? Let's see. Do we have time? Is it a Honda S2000?
No, it is not.
Is it something on sale today?
It is.
It's a current model.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to hate it.
That's my sweet spot.
Is it? Wait, you're not going to say Miata?
No.
Okay.
Is it like a motorcycle?
No. So it's in my least favorite class of car. It's a 3-row SUV.
Okay.
It's the Mitsubishi Outlander.
Oh yeah.
Plug-in hybrid, the PHEV.
I don't hate it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
so
hate
it. it's an SUV. It's a compact, or do we call it midsize? I don't think it is a midsize. I think it's still a compact crossover.
It's compact.
But it has a 3rd row that is, by all accounts, as an adult, it's useless.
Literal camp chairs back
there. But the big thing about it
why
is
it came to mind.
it does give you that 3rd row. If you somehow have the right age and size of child that can utilize it, it's there.
Legless.
Yeah. But if you put it down, it's a giant, or it's not giant. It's a big cargo area. The big thing is the PHEV has V2L. The Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV has V2L.
Cool. So, ace in the hole. I like that.
I think it's a pretty good pick. I'm not
That's
gonna lie.
way better. Give me 6 of those before you give me a Cybertruck.
I think my only criticism was that if you're buying it for the V2L for camping, then you are not buying it for the third row seats because you can't. You can't bring you can't bring anything if the third row
but
is
it's a nice to have.
You put it totally on the top.
It's an interesting dynamic because with the rear seat in position, you cannot fit any reasonable cargo in the back.
Nothing.
You also can't fit any reasonably sized human in the back seat. So it's it really just takes all usability away from the vehicle. But put that row down, you got a little more space. It's basically a Nissan Rogue in terms of size.
It is.
Right.
Made by Nissan.
I mean, I'm
Elliot, we're not mad. We're not mad.
I'm not a
hater
hater
at all.
I'm not a hater, but I generally don't like 3-row SUVs. I just think that cargo mashup is it doesn't help anybody. But in this scenario, that V2L is the big thing. And a lot of my 9 vehicles on the list all have V2L. That was like the feature that I honed in on as like a really useful.
I like that.
I think it's a really good one.
And the Outlander, it's no. Go ahead, Natalie.
I was just gonna say maybe in this case you don't use the third row to get there. You use it for like. People need their own space while we're here for a little bit.
We are never going camping.
You know what you do on camping trips? You pick up hitchhikers.
Well, there you go.
Obviously.
Hey now.
Or I mean, my kid's not old enough for this, but like time out. You know, you sit in that row and you sit in that one. You think about what you did.
No better place for shunning a child than the third row.
Third row.
Outlander. So the list is, as I've written it down, we have 11 here. We have the Ridgeline, the Honda Ridgeline, the Honda Element, the Tesla Model Y, Tesla Cybertruck, the Subaru Forester Wilderness, that was me co-opting your pick, the Toyota Sienna, the Ford Transit, the Ford F-150 Hybrid, the Subaru Outback, the Mazda CX-50, and the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. We're going to turn this into an article that folks can reference on CarGurus.com, but that will only be an article of 10. So go and figure out which one I cut.
I know which one you're going to cut, and I just for the last thing,
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I don't like the Cybertruck. I would not buy the Cybertruck. I think there is an interesting aftermarket that has grown up around the Cybertruck. That's why I brought it.
Like if you are a literal giant, like from Jack and the Beanstalk, and you need something to use as your doorstop. Yeah,
or if you have
the Cybertruck.
If you have $250,000 and are very irresponsible with that, buy a Cybertruck with what's it called, the Cyber Phoenix.
Wow.
Real quick, the Transit Connect. If we could amend it so it's the Transit and Transit Connect. I think those are both, not just the Transit. I don't want to shoehorn people into
viability.
A giant fan.
Okay, well.
Amended.
It has been amended. Thank you for amending. Everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Reminder, you can watch the Forester Wilderness review. You can watch our Crosstrek Hybrid shorts. You can read both of those. And you can read this article because we made it. We collectively made this article, right? So go to cargurus.com/research. Check it out.
It's not a backslash.
What is it?
It's just a forward slash.
A slash. Nobody knows the difference. You do the slash.
People know how to get there.
You get there.
People know how to get there. I hope they do.
Use the internet.
Yeah, use search for it. You'll find it. But like I said, thank you everybody for listening, and we will see you next week.